Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Come on in. We are going to be here live for those that are joining us from our particular group that I am broadcasting to, our Women's Helping Women Entrepreneurs group. We're also going to be talking with our bold Christian leaders in our group. So come on in. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, if you were wondering. June 27th, and I am Dr. Shanae Turan of SP Consulting Group. And just as a brief introduction, I am an organizational development psychologist as well as a licensed psychotherapist. And what I do in my business, SP Consulting Group, located in downtown Los Angeles, California, is I help bold Christian leaders align their purpose with their business practices. And we do that by combining both your traditional business acumen and business strategies in your business for sustainability, for systems redesign, and we marry that in with executive wellness. So, some of the unique things about what I do, again, very briefly, is what I do is take what I know to be organizational health. I have a doctorate in organizational development psychology, but I specialized in executive consulting, executive coaching. And what I had noticed was there was a gap. There was this compartmentalization of executives, how they were doing in their personal lives, the whole adage of keeping work at work and home at home. And that wasn't working for a lot of leaders. And we had the pandemic to remind us of that, right? Yes, we did. So in that space, I said, you know what I am noticing also is that systems are being built in businesses that don't necessarily support the executives, the leaders, the frontline managers that are actually implementing these strategies. So what I wanted to do is just take this moment to address how that disconnect can lead to some unstable or instability in your business. It can also lead to a crumbling effect for those who have built their business, and that is, a lot of the people that I work with, those that are established leaders, they're high earners, they're high capacity, high performing leaders. They've built this huge business, but they built it a bit disjointed from who they are as a person. And so we're going to be talking a little bit about the benefits of really looking at both at the same time concurrently. Okay. So those who I work with, at least for those that would most benefit from what I'm going to talk about, are established leaders, leaders that maybe even are emerging, and maybe you've been successful in a different business and you're trying to find a way to be more passionate about the work that you do. You have reached financial milestones, but you're still finding that extra, excitement, that extra compassion or passion, I should say, for your work has been lost. And what I do is bring you guys back together to the main reason why you got started, sort of like a reminder of your why, but also begin to work through the mindset components of it, the mindset, but then also your business strategies that align with that so that you can best move forward and have a more sustainable practice that's for you and your business, your customers. Okay. So again, just as a quick overview, what I do, again, is help Christians. This is my mission, to help Christian business owners who are essentially experiencing or beginning to experience guilt. And they're experiencing guilt because they've been silencing their spiritual beliefs. They've been silencing that side of them that keeps them going in their business. The business is quiet. They've been praying in their prayer closet, and they want to align their purpose with their practice. And, all of that is to essentially get back into alignment with your ideal clients. So ideal client attraction, and definitely put yourself or position yourself to have global reach. Okay. So one thing that I have as a vision for my business, again, is to empower Christian leaders and business owners to be more in alignment, to be a bit less apologetic, in their business practice, enabling them to become equipped with these bold Christ-centered strategies that connects them with their target audience and the global impact they've been called to have, they actually can reach it. So I believe that when individuals are able to renew their minds, align with their faith in their business, and have that as an overarching umbrella for their business practices, they can then make a significant difference in their communities. And essentially, like the potential is endless. So it can be global if you want. Our goal is to provide high quality coaching, consulting, and mental wellness that supports our high performing leaders. We can't forget that as high performers, especially women entrepreneurs, um, we are in this place of achieving to a point of full potential, but also not reaching a point of burnout. So we want lasting impact. We want, there to be generational wealth facilitated through the work that you're doing. So that's my vision. That's my vision. So one of the things that I wanted to share again were some benefits of executive wellness coaching, because a lot of people don't know what executive wellness coaching is. And so executive wellness coaching is a nice marriage between executive coaching or business coaching, really looking at your bottom line for your business acumen, leadership development, your ability to have the skills to do big presentations, your skills to really be in that forward facing posture with your clients, and to also make sure that you are well enough to do it. So then it's the wellness coaching. So we look at all dynamics. There are a lot of coaches that really focus on the strategy. And with over 18 years of experience in the mental wellness space, I've been a psychotherapist, still practicing as a psychotherapist. We really look at how you can move beyond the initial mindset gaps to ensure sustainability of the practices that you're learning. So we have a more comprehensive approach in my business to business health, because it starts with you. So one of the things that I wanted to share as far as the benefits of executive wellness coaching, especially for high achieving, high performance women entrepreneurs, there's 5 key advantages that I wanted to point out today. So if you are working in your business and you consider yourself high performance, high earning, and high earning can be very relative, but if you consider yourself high earning, high performance leader, definitely put a 1 in the chat box. And if you are joining us, thank you so much for joining us. Hello. I want to make sure that you understand where you are, because when you are a high performer, you really want to say that when it's all said and done, you are able to execute on the services that you provide and you're getting results. You're getting testimonials. People are, really there. And so what you want to do is be in position so that you can essentially get the things that you need in your business, especially as far as productivity is concerned. Okay. All right. So one of those things, as I mentioned, was improving work-life balance. Who here, who here has issues with work-life balance? So high earning women entrepreneurs, like, we often face challenges in achieving a healthy work-life balance, and it's due to the demands of our business. Now, executive wellness coaching can help with prioritizing your personal well-being and prioritizing it from the standpoint of managing your stress, establishing boundaries between work and personal life that are necessary for your well-being, but also integrating wellness practices and strategies in your routine. So how many of you have already a wellness practice or routine established? Put a 1 in the chat box. Yeah, we want to see who is already in that place. All right. All right. And again, if you are if you are joining live, that's great. If you are joining as a replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay in the chat box so that we can really see who here already has a practice and what is that practice. You know, what is that practice? All right. So a lot of times people are always saying like, oh, um, I'm definitely somebody that will do yoga. Some will say, okay, I do yoga. And then others are like, well, you know what I really do is just take time out for myself. And that's amazing too. So these are definitely, definitely ways that you can help. But help in your wellness journey. But once you are in that place of um, going deeper into your wellness practice, what are some of those things? And maybe that's something that I want you to differentiate the difference between times that you have um, times that you have went full speed ahead and times where you're like, no, I haven't worked out, I haven't done much of anything. How do I do this? How do I get in the place where I am consistent? You know, but what can you do? What can you do? And so, as we push forward in this place of our wellness, we want you to experience a greater satisfaction in all aspects of your life. How many of you guys want that? Right? So, yes, we want to make sure that we are doing well. We want to make sure that no matter what, we are, finding these opportunities to do better for ourselves so that we can ensure that no matter what, we are pushing forward. Okay. So, how many of you already, and this is another one, how many of you track your productivity? How many of you are doing productivity planning and things like that? Let me hear some of these. All right. Okay. So I'm seeing a few come in. Okay. So when it comes down to productivity planning, I want you to get into the mindset that executive wellness coaching empowers even high earning, high achieving women entrepreneurs to really be in that place of, I am optimizing my productivity. You may have a productivity setup, but if you don't, how are you doing so to make sure that you're tracking your productivity and that you're tracking your performance? A lot of us may end up stopping at action planning. We may stop at SMART goals. We set our goals, but then what else? How are you tracking that you're actually achieving your goals? So by addressing some of these factors, how many of you, and again, put a one in the chat box or put, a me in the chat box, how many of you struggle with time management? Or how are you doing with stress reduction? How many of you are dealing with these things? Because ultimately, when we're talking about self care as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a high earning leader, we want you to put yourself in the position to truly stand out. Because otherwise, it's not going to work. It's not going to work and it's not going to be sustainable. So, as you are thinking about sustainability, as you are thinking about how am I ensuring that I am well as a leader, then you need to look at these things. So, because a lot of times we get disappointed, right? We get disappointed with our productivity. We get disappointed with how do I actually achieve these goals? Maybe you're someone that's a master procrastinator. Maybe, you've perfected procrastinating. But by addressing these factors such as time management, stress reduction, your self care, coaching in that space has to help you develop these strategies. So you may be looking at a strategy in your business about revenue generation, but what about your strategy in regards to managing your stress, managing overwhelm, managing all the ideas that you have, and putting them all together more succinctly so that you're more productive? That whole adage of working smarter, not harder. You know, how are you taking care of yourself? How are you developing strategies that are making you as the main point of contact that your clients have as more focused, more efficient, and you're better managing your energy levels? I know I once read a book that was by Daniel Pink. It's called The Science of When. And Daniel Pink talks about this specifically as it pertains to at what times are you best performing, and making sure that the times that you are best performing are the times in which you are introducing your largest work assignments. So if you have something that, you're working on something and you're like, what, when it's all said and done, this is going to take a long time. Maybe I'm building a product, maybe I'm building, a training, and this is going to take a lot of time. Don't do the smaller task per se at the time that you would actually need or have the most energy. What you really want to do is step into, this is the time frame in which I have the most energy. So this is when I'm going to do my most robust assignment that I have on my to-do list, right? So there's different elements to consider, and that's why I love the combination of human behavior, um, psychology, and marrying it with business psychology or organizational development psychology, which is what I do. And it's looking at not just, again, the systems, but how do we make the systems more efficient based on the human being that's carrying it out, right? A lot of times we miss that human element. We have this 1, 2, 3, 4 stepwise of a strategy or of a formula of, this is how you get this many millions of dollars. But in that process, as effective as that strategy may be, as given by, the experts um, on revenue generation, you have to realize that as an individual person, as a human being, not a cog in a machine, as I like to say, you're not a cog in a machine. You're not a uh, a computer. You're a human being. You want to make sure that you are taking the time out to understand how you best perform, how you best reduce stress on a daily basis, because the overwhelm comes from this like pent up stress hormone that's in your body. And your body then gets in a habit of operating off of the stress hormone in a fight or flight. But when ultimately it is wearing you down, which is why a lot of times you have entrepreneurs that they'll go really hard in their workspace, their targets. Oh, I'm reaching this goal. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But maybe a year down the line, even though they've built this amazing business, they have all this money being generated, they begin to fizzle, you know? And what I do is ensure that it's essentially protecting your investment. Okay. So one, like I said, number two of how you can benefit from executive wellness coaching. One is the improved work-life balance. And the second one that I just finished explaining was the enhanced productivity and performance. You can better have like the ultimate effectiveness, increased effectiveness. I'm talking about expanding your bandwidth, despite the fact that you feel like you can, in your business, and the ability to achieve your goals more effectively and efficiently. Again, not working harder, working smarter. And so when we're talking about, okay, you have these business strategies for revenue generation, client attraction, and then your business is building up, how are you then sustaining your well-being, say before you have, for example, a team to support you. A lot of us are in that space where we don't quite have a team, but we are our business. You want to make sure that you are being very intentional about your overall well-being and making sure that you are going the long haul. Okay. So number three, strengthening your leadership skills. A lot of times we get into a business and we forget that we have a leadership role. As a business owner, you are a leader. As someone who has a formal or informal role. And a lot of women who are building businesses, we have to get into this mindset that it's crucial for us as high earning, high impact, entrepreneurs to manage and drive business acumen within ourselves, and doing so as a model and teaching and informing our teams. So executive wellness coaching can help with developing and strengthening your leadership skills. How many of you, put a one in the comments, how many of you are like, I want to do speaking. I want to do these trainings with, government contracts. I want to do all these large things. I want to host this thing, but I'm having trouble, for example, speaking in large crowds or speaking before a lot of people. I'm an undercover introvert. I say that all the time. I tell people all the time because a lot of people don't realize that I'm not in that space of being like, oh, I just love speaking. No, I used to study theater. I studied theater for like 5 years. And it was in those improv classes that I learned how to strengthen my ability to speak in front of large groups, my ability to, off the cuff improv if, tech issues go and I don't, let it show in my face. I may, mention it like, hey, like last Tuesday, I had tech issues. I may mention it, but it isn't something that throws me off. And it's because I've been able to do a lot of improv classes and learn how to just go off the cuff. And so some of you may be like, you know what, I need that. I need to learn how to do that because I want to speak in front of people. I want to, do trainings in front of large groups. I want to be able to go live. Maybe one of the things that's keeping you in a certain pocket of overwhelming stress is that I need to be visible, but I don't know how, or I'm scared to. A lot of the things that I do when I'm coaching people is helping them learn how to do public speaking and using the skills that I learned in those, I think it was 6 years of study in performing arts, learning how to speak and learning how, even if you forget your content and you don't have a teleprompter, that you're still able to speak clearly, you're still able to maneuver like with confidence. And that's something I teach as well in my executive wellness coaching. Like I said, it's a combination of the business acumen, business coaching, executive coaching, but it is mixed in with wellness. How are you as a person? Maybe even say, if I use the same example, you are struggling with your confidence. You're struggling with how to be present in front of a crowd. But where does that come from? It's not just, hey, let's do these activities. It's let's address what's under there. Let's address what's down that rabbit hole. And I'm able to do that again as a behavioral health specialist, as a licensed psychotherapist. Okay. And so these are the things that we look at: strengthening your leadership skills, building this business acumen, and we help develop and strengthen those skills like communication, like I mentioned, but also emotional intelligence. How are you feeling in a moment? And how do you build your brand around yourself when you are human? Again, I said it before and I'll say it again. You are not a cog in the machine. No matter which strategy you use, if you're someone that uses the strategy of going live all the time, if you're someone that uses and accepts the strategy of just doing things like cold calling and things like that, no matter what you use, you have to be in the position to say, you know what? I know how I'm feeling in a given moment. So let me then manage myself and being able to read a crowd, being able to read and understand your customers, being able to read and understand how to then interact based on that information. That's emotional intelligence, self-management, self-awareness, self-management, empathy, but also being able to have social skills and development in those relationships. Okay. So intelligence, decision making, being resilient in business. And you're doing these through coaching. Women entrepreneurs can enhance their leadership skills just like anybody else. And I don't know if there's some of you that maybe culturally, and I like to address culturally may feel that I can't be this, forward business owner. I can't be this bold leader because of the connotation it has culturally. Again, all of these things, all of these things are what are addressed in emotional wellness coaching or executive wellness coaching. And you build stronger relationships as you enhance these skills. So, whether you have a team who's going to actually have a direct benefit from you strengthening your leadership skills, and they're going to be inspired to perform their best because you are modeling what it means to be a lifelong learner, what it means to dig deeper into some of the things that you fear doing, you're uncomfortable doing, and you set yourself up to do them anyway as a direct aim of growing and enhancing your business, growing and enhancing your reach. Okay. And so that was number 3. The fourth of 5 tips that I'm sharing today. So, number 4, enhancing your well being and health. Now, earlier we talked about improving work life balance. And sometimes people combine the two. They say, oh, well, I'm looking at my well being, so that should be enough. That doesn't actually entail work life integration. But in this particular fourth tip on how you can benefit and how you can focus in and rein in your wellness as a woman executive, as a woman entrepreneur, is enhancing your well being and health on purpose. So there's pressures. How many of you feel pressure? Put a 1 in the chat box. How many of you are feeling you know, pressure to perform and to grow and to have, I don't know, a certain level of income? Maybe it's even, legit pressure because of your responsibilities. Think about that. How many of you are doing that? Put a 1 in the chat box. How many of you are feeling pressure to perform? And if you're not feeling to perform, how are you feeling as a pressure that you've put on yourself to bring to life a certain business or a certain lifestyle, to maintain it? Either way, there's a lot of pressures in business that can take a toll on us physically, mentally, spiritually, in all the ways, especially when you're someone that is a high earner, you're a high achiever, you're high, performing as an entrepreneur. You work harder than everybody else. You invest more than everybody else. So a lot may be riding on you, but it's affecting your physical and mental health. Executive wellness coaching focuses in on improving your overall health, not just your business, not just a strategy, but your well being as a person. You caring more about your well being than you do your business. But by also caring about your well being more than your business, you automatically benefit the well being of your business. You see what I mean? So, do you have, and I'll put this out there, do you already have a plan in place or a strategy in place, a goal in place that includes how you take care of yourself in your business? Do you have a work life integration element in your business that includes not just, oh, I'm going to take a trip at the end of the year, or I'm going to buy this when I hit this revenue, I'm going to reward myself with this. But is there something that you do that you can tangibly say, yes, I do X, Y, and Z for my well being every day? Is there something that you do quarterly for your personal well being? We have our, insurance or our habits of going in for our physical, for our womanly needs. We do this, But what do you do intentionally? Because when you are high achieving, high performing as a leader, your wellness is absolutely I say it's a risk management strategy. How do you maintain your business if you aren't well? You know, even if you have a team, an amazing team, they still look to you for guidance. They still look to you for how to do. So, how are you modeling this way of making sure people take care of themselves? From you modeling it, from you speaking about their well being, you're doing huddles to check in with them and see how they're feeling personally and professionally. And you're doing the same for yourself so that it's not this culture that's being built of burnout, a culture that's being built that isn't psychologically safe. Someone can't say that they're needing a mental health day, or that you're telling yourself, I don't need a mental health day. This is for somebody else. No, everybody needs a mental health day. Everybody needs a mental health moment to regroup. You know, I tell my clients all the time, while I'm in session with you, if we're talking about something heavy, I'm doing deep breathing. I'm taking a moment in that time to understand that in order for me to be present fully for them, I need to take care of myself, right? So think about that. Executive coaching focuses on, like I said, your mental well being, your overall well being, but addressing factors like stress management, your nutrition, exercise, sleep, self care. You know, so by prioritizing your well being, as a woman entrepreneur, as a woman in business, as a woman in women in leadership, you can experience that increase in your energy versus a depletion in your energy. You can increase well-being and balance versus burnout. So let's mitigate burnout. Let's reduce burnout on the front end. Okay. And better managing your health improves overall the quality of your life and your business. It really does. I mean, tell me the last time that you got sick and had to be out and what happened in your business. Do you already have a system that works for you? Some of you may be in e-commerce, and that may be the case, yes. But how did you feel taking a break? And if you're someone that already have a system, I'm not talking to you. Good job. Keep it up. You know, help teach other people too. But for those that have a hard time with the balance, you have to pay attention. Prevention and setting things up in your business through team development, through team management, that then you can have those teams, you can have those systems that run while you need to take a break, because we all need breaks. You can't be going nonstop because then you're going to crash. And what does that look like for your business, right? So pay attention to that. And the last one is increase self-awareness and personal growth. So this is the last of five. So I'm going to list them off really quick. We're talking about improving our work-life balance and integration. We're talking about enhancing productivity and performance. Third, we're looking at strengthening our leadership skills. Four, enhancing our well-being and overall health. And this last and not least, increasing your self-awareness and personal growth. So executive wellness coaching provides a supportive environment in these one-on-ones. And every now and then I do groups, but I mostly do one-on-ones to really get down into the meat of it. But it's a supportive environment where you have someone that is high performing, high impact leader, high earning, but then you are able to speak freely without this expectation that, oh, I should know this. Just because you know better doesn't mean you do better. Brought to you by the G.I. Joe fallacy theory out of Yale. Look it up. Check it out. G.I. Joe fallacy theory. Just because you know better doesn't mean you do better. So I want you to explore, as you're building on your self-awareness, as you're building on your personal growth, I want you to think about your values, your beliefs, the things that you are really, really good at, your superpowers. But then also look at these areas and opportunities for growth. I don't like to look at it in the sense of challenges per se, as opposed to opportunities for improvement and opportunities for growth. So through these self-reflections, introspection, journaling, having an accountability coach where you can talk to them and they get it. As a business owner myself, I get it. But you are gaining a deeper understanding of yourself in this space as an executive, in this space as an entrepreneur, and get to a place of where you're aspiring to be, not just monetarily, right? Like that's the key. We have a lot of resources that are there, a lot of coaches, a lot of amazing gurus and experts that are teaching us how to grow our business. But how do we grow ourselves in our business so that there's always an alignment, right? So by leveraging your self awareness, you can be more and have more informed decision making abilities. Okay, set meaningful goals, not just again, not just monetary, not just number of clients, number of prospects that you're going to reach, number of posts you're going to do. Let's look at it from a very whole health perspective. We're looking at all of it, the business and you. Okay. And you can have this ability to unlock an area of your life that you never even thought you had, a greater expanded ability to influence others. A lot of people don't understand that when it comes down to neuroplasticity, that is everything. The growth of your mind, that is everything. The growth of your time through uh, overall mindset mixed in with mental wellness, that is what we're talking about. This is what we need you to focus on because everything that you're building is amazing, but it becomes absolutely nothing if you are not well and you begin to deteriorate or even begin to lose excitement in your business. So overall, listen, executive wellness coaching offers a lot of high impact leaders, a lot of high achieving, high performance, high earning entrepreneurs a more holistic approach to your personal and professional development. And it essentially allows you to be able to thrive truly in your business, but also while maintaining your well being, not getting to a point of burnout, not getting to a point of overwhelm because you have systems in place to offload that stress hormone. You have systems in place to make sure that you're doing things that you enjoy, connecting with the community, connecting with your family, and doing these things on a more long term basis. Okay. So I want to share very quickly before I jump off here a very quick testimonial. There has been a number of leaders that I've worked with, but I want to share one in particular. I've shared with some people before about one of my clients that ended up being over, I don't want to say the particular department, but she was in Insight Global, an executive in Insight Global. She literally, when she came to me, she had demoted herself to working in a call center, even though she had a greater capacity in the business marketing space. She was dealing with a lot of issues that were sort of buried under the surface. And it caused her to really like just clam up. She was having trouble in her relationships, having trouble maintaining um, like just her sense of well-being as it pertained to connecting with friends, feeling guilty for, saying no, she was busy. No, she was tired. No, it was a lot going on for her. Her mother was even going through some things. But ultimately, what we did was work together on what were the underlying issues. There's a lot of symptoms that we talk about. There's a lot of symptoms. Symptoms being, you're tired, you're overwhelmed, you're beginning to be forgetful, you're having trouble problem solving, you're having trouble in prayer. You're feeling like you're not getting your prayer through. You're feeling like, you're not having time to sit down in the word and, stay motivated, stay anchored. Something happens, you're blowing a gasket. You're not able to feel grounded. But essentially, from us working together, we worked together for about 90 days. And this is why I actually have a 90-day executive wellness program for executives where you are working, but yet you don't have time to take off. You don't have time, and you're probably not even appropriate for therapy. Okay. As a therapist, I know the difference. And you're just having trouble with strategic planning. Strategic planning, time management as it pertains to your well being. You're not having time to offload. You're crashing. You're saying that your time to yourself is binge watching, reality TV. when your brain is still working. You may even be drinking your glass of wine every night in order to go to sleep. These things are the symptoms. But there's something else under the surface that when working with me as an executive wellness coach, we address those so that they don't end up staying as your cycle. You can better perform. I know there was even another woman, she worked for a nonprofit. And while the young lady I was mentioning earlier, she was able to get past her issues, we were able to talk through it, we were able to build up her self-esteem, especially as it pertained to public speaking. And now she's traveling the world globally with Insight Global. And so this other young lady, she has a nonprofit, and she was telling me how she would drink wine every night before going to sleep and realized in the morning how groggy she was. She wasn't as sharp. She wasn't able to be as productive. Again, some of these things we're looking at as symptoms, but we need to understand that there's an underlying issue down that rabbit hole, right? And so I want you to think about this. If you are dealing with this, if any of this resonated with you, that I'm a bit off, or I don't have a plan and I don't really know where to start, or hey, I feel like I had a plan, but to be honest, I've been stuck maybe making the same amount. Maybe I've been stuck, not being able to have that global reach, whatever it may be for you. When we're looking at business acumen married with wellness, we are looking at sustainability. So I provide one-on-one coaching, and it's a 90-day executive wellness accelerator. And the investment up front is $14,997. Okay. And in this space, you get your one-on-one coaching. You get your on-demand coaching through messaging. We have a messaging program. But what I do is work with you very intently every single week. We build together, I build for you through the goals that you establish. We do an assessment of your needs. I build a workbook that is associated with your particular goals that you're setting. And because of my knowledge of systems redesign, I also help you redesign maybe your primary high ticket offer. Maybe I help you with your trainings, your workshops. All of these things come together. All of them come together, and you will end up not only more balanced, but you will have all of the internal drivers that you need to go the long haul beyond me. A lot of people have begun to earn 7 figures after getting 6 figures. The earning potential is really up to you, but you will leave with either a new product, an amended product, a more clarified product, more clarity, but it is done for you. This is pretty much a intensive that includes a done for you product. So you would end up choosing whether it's a workshop, a mastermind, a retreat. I help that build those things for you while you're going through coaching, and also give you the facilitator's guide. We build out the facilitator's guide so that then this can be a product that you grow and have as a signature program for yourself. And again, if you already have a signature program and maybe you're pivoting, then we make those adjustments so that you can then save time, focus in on your work-life balance, focus in on maintaining the new cycles, the new habits, the muscle memory that you need to really go from this 90-day into a place of really being able to teach the same thing to other people. Okay. So it's a mixture. Like I said, it's a full end-to-end coaching program for $14,997. Okay. So if you're interested, absolutely let me know. You can jump in my DMs. I'm actually going to put a link in here for where you can apply, because I only work with a few people per quarter, because it's every 90 days. So I'm gearing up for people that are going to be starting August 1st. Okay. So let me know, but I will be putting a link in the comment section, and it's also in my bio where you can apply for services. Okay. So you guys be well, be blessed. I'm going to jump off of here and get on to preparing for my clients for the morning. Okay. So you guys take care. And I will see those of you who are in my Bold Christian Collective for our clarifying our niche program. Okay. So I will see you guys later. You guys take care. Be blessed.